In a quiet seaside town, where the air always smelled of salt and drifting rain, lived a painter named Daniel Gray. He was known not for bright colors or cheerful scenes, but for paintings that seemed to hold the weather itself. His canvases captured mist, soft rain, and skies heavy with memories. People said his work felt alive, as if the clouds might move if you looked long enough. Daniel lived alone in a small studio overlooking the ocean. Years ago, he had once dreamed of fame in the bustling city galleries, but a sudden accident and unexpected storm, a lost love had pulled him back to this small town. Here, he painted only for himself. He sold enough to live, but he no longer chased applause. One grey afternoon, while Daniel worked on a canvas of the stormy sea, a soft knock echoed on his studio door. A young woman stood outside, soaked from the rain. Her name was Clara, a traveller passing through who had been drawn to the warm light spilling from his window. "Your paintings," she said breathlessly, they sound like rain even when it's quiet." Daniel smiled faintly and invited her in. Clara wandered through the studio, touching nothing but absorbing everything. One painting in particular caught her attention, a half-finished piece of a lone figure standing beneath an umbrella on an empty pier. "Who is she?" Clara asked. Daniel paused, brush in hand. "Someone I once waited for," he said quietly. They talked 4 hours, as the storm outside softened to a gentle drizzle. Clara told him she was a musician searching for inspiration. She'd been traveling for months, never staying anywhere long, trying to find a sound she couldn't describe. Daniel listened, offering tea and stories of the sea. Over the next few days, Clara returned each evening. Sometimes they spoke of art and music, other times they simply listened to the rain. Daniel began to paint differently. His greys turned softer, his blues brighter. Clara's presence filled the studio with an energy he hadn't felt in years. On her last night in town, Clara brought a small violin and played a melody that shimmered like falling rain. Daniel painted as she played, his brush moving with the music. When she finished, he stepped back to reveal the completed painting. The lone figure on the pier was no longer alone. Another figure stood beside her, holding no umbrella, sharing the rain. Clara smiled, her eyes shining. "You found the ending," she whispered. Daniel nodded, though a quiet ache lingered in his chest. He knew she couldn't stay, travelers never do. The next morning, Clara was gone. In her place, on the windowsill, lay a folded note and a single seashell. Daniel held the note to his heart and looked out at the ocean. The rain had stopped, but the world still glistened as if it had been freshly painted. For the first time in years, he opened the studio windows and let the sea breeze carry his next idea across the canvas.